Hello, good morning, good afternoon. This is Elizabeth Juro with Be the Voice Radio at IntellectualRadio.com. I have a guest, Antonio Lightfoot with Social Justice. Hi,
Thank you having me here today. I'm Antonio Lightfoot with the Workers Center for Racial Justice. I'm glad to be here.
thank you for coming. We're going to talk about, I guess, a video a friend of mine had wanted me to play, but we're unable to play it. So it's about teaching seniors how to do Zoom and I guess YouTube and use their cell phones. Can
Right.
you please explain it? You,
So the background behind it is that 2020 has been crazy for all of us.
yes,
From the COVID to the protests, the riots, and the constant police murders.
yes,
Um, Usually, and we have an election coming up.
yep. November,
Usually, seniors play one of the most important roles in our election. They turn out um, way higher than any other age range, and we were just under the impression that a lot of seniors were feeling um, a little uninvolved because so many things are happening digitally now.
yes,
That being Zoom,
right,
that being text messaging platforms, and just
yes,
it's been like a fast track to technology. So we wanted to make sure that one of our most vocal demographics, seniors, still stay involved politically.
right,
So we can't pull up the link right now, but there's a few ways. So our goal was to make sure everybody was trained on Zoom
hmm
and trained on Outvote.
okay,
Those are two different platforms.
hmm
Zoom is the largest platform right now for virtual meetings.
hmm
So just by people learning that, you can be able to participate in most in all of it. Translate Google Meets, Zoom, sort of like Skype, things like
okay,
that. But most things are Zoom these days.
hmm
And Outvote is a messaging app that we are promoting because it helps you stay involved politically, not only seniors but everybody. It's an app where you can easily talk to your neighbors, your friends, or even strangers with the click of a button
hmm
on a mass scale.
okay.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Now, can you tell us a little bit about your organization, what it is you do, what it is we can do to help you, how we can collectively come together and work together?
So, my organization is a nonprofit, the Worker Center for Racial Justice, um, and so we work at the intersection of criminal justice reform and workers' rights.
hmm
It's a Black liberation organization.
Okay.
We believe that some of the most marginalized people in the black community are formerly incarcerated folks who come home from either serving time or being released from county jail or something like that,
hmm
with little to no resources,
hmm
with that stigma on them back that prevents them from being hired by most companies, at least respectable jobs. So
Okay.
we want to eliminate those barriers.
hmm
Um, we want to make sure that um, folks are honestly given a second chance.
Okay.
Um, and it's funny because we talked a little bit beforehand about your organization and
Right.
the goal of your radio station,
Right.
uh, grief counseling,
hmm
putting the message in the own words. And
Right.
I think it's wonderful.
Yes.
And by us being a criminal justice reform organization who focus on legislation to decarcerate, get people out of jail,
hmm
people often think that we are on different sides of the
Exactly. Right.
of the fence, but in reality, we have a lot more in common than people think. Um,
Okay.
uh, and some of the main reasons is because if you think of policing as policing and incarceration as reactionary, what we want to bring is more proactive solutions.
Right.
Things that will stop people from going down that path that may make
Exactly.
our communities less safe.
hmm
Knowing that for every police uniform patrolman added to the city's payroll, it takes away from resources like
Right. Like the
mental
schools and
health,
stuff. Right. Mental
schools.
health. Right.
Exactly. So
hmm
defund police sounds very radical, but not until you realize we've been defunding education for years, defunding mental health institutions for
Right. I
years.
know. I know
You
when
know,
you
and
go to like the Caucasian neighborhoods, you
mhm,
have mental health, you have rape crisis, you have all kind of, you have better schools and stuff, and then in the urban, like Chicago and stuff, the schools are not as good, and
Mhm.
you
We
know,
we actually just released a report. Is available on centerforracialjustice.org, saying that on a 2021 budget, um, out of all the money in the public safety budget, which includes social service workers, mental health crisis workers, homeless prevention, veteran services. It was 332 other, and then 13,000 policemen. So,
wow,
and it's not as if the services, the police can handle those services. It's
right,
literally, four people in the city working on domestic violence resources. So,
exactly,
and that's what we mean by defund police, refund
right,
communities, reallocate the budget.
okay. Yeah, and I know since COVID has been going on, it's been domestic violence has scored up
Yeah.
a lot.
Yeah,
I've been,
I've saw some numbers about that rise.
yeah, and health and mental illness has actually risen too. There's been a lot of suicides. There's been a lot of depression because when we went into the lockdown, a lot of people, lost their jobs and companies or whatever, and by them being locked down, you have a lot of people that probably were already dealing with mental issues that stopped taking their meds and stuff, which caused it worse to have different types of mental breakdowns. And then you just had people that just broke down because they weren't used to just all at once, being locked down and having everything just snatched from them like that. It
Right.
was,
And we can't forget that, a lot of people are much, worse off financially than they were at the beginning of the year.
I know.
So, like one of the worst stresses you can put yourself under is financial stresses.
Yep.
Those do something different to the brain.
Right.
I always say that all of our community violence and community trauma is rooted in poverty. You wouldn't have folks doing as much. I mean, everything is to get a dollar.
Right.
It's the root of all crimes. Most of them. I mean, not 100%, but majority of them. If we can
Mm-hmm.
solve financial hardships for people
Mm-hmm.
by putting good jobs in the neighborhood instead of shipping them overseas, and
Right.
making sure they're in the city and not all in the suburbs and can't have
Mm-hmm.
adequate transportation to get to them.
Yeah.
If we can, I mean, even like paying less than 25% of our income to, to government,
Mm-hmm.
lower wage people, and just not even lower wage people, but just people who are not rich tend to pay 25% of their income to Uncle Sam. And that shouldn't be the prop. That shouldn't be the case. We should be taxing people who can afford the most. It's a greater tax burden on us than it is
Mm-hmm.
on 1%.
Okay.
So that means a lot of things we can do to get money in the hands of people's pockets.
Right. And then also, like you were saying, with the transportation too, because like the people that are in the suburbs, some suburbs don't even have like buses, and you may not have money for Uber and I think it's Lyft.
Mm-hmm.
So what do we do to help
Mm-hmm.
those people out?
Right.
So
Yep.
we have to, I guess, collectively come together and start networking and coming up with ideas and things to
Mm-hmm.
see what we can do to help. You
Mm-hmm.
know.
Like, and I'm glad you're coming up with ideas to help. I'm glad you mentioned that because every every rule that's on the books was written and drafted and approved by like our legislators, like either our city councilmen,
Right.
our state reps, our state senators, our governor,
Right.
our president, congresspersons. So these people are making decisions without us, and that's why I like the idea of your podcast, because be the voice in itself is like, we have a say in what should be
Right.
done for us and to us a lot of
Right.
times, right? We need to be at the table.
Right. Be the voice for the
Um,
voiceless.
Somehow folks think $1,200 supposed to be us for the whole year. You
Right.
know, I mean that's just
Right.
ridiculous. So
Yeah, I know. It being that pretty much was your maybe your mortgage or your
mhm.
rent by itself, because it depends on where you live at. You got some people that mortgages is like $3,000-4,000 a month.
Banks
So
got billions.
yeah,
Banks, I mean, they are sitting on money.
yep,
And then they couldn't even go 3 weeks without getting a bailout. So what do you
wow,
think is going to happen to the average person who's saving
yep,
has been dwindling since the 70s?
yep,
The home ownership rates have been dwindling since the 70s.
right,
It's it's sad because our politicians don't truly uh, vote in our best interest all the time. And that's why
no,
we do a little things different at the Workers Center for Racial Justice. We actually have a C4 organization called the Center for Racial and Gender Equity, we can actually do a little more pushing the politicians to vote in our
Okay.
best interest. So it's a
Yeah.
nonprofit, but we're able to do political work
Okay.
for and against candidates, and it gives us a different type of power because when you are able to organize somebody out of their seat,
Hmm.
then they're more likely to listen to you.
Right. You were also saying something about sometimes you pay people to do the pass out the cards for voting
Yeah.
or go door to door or something. You
So
were saying.
I was referring to our street action team. So it's just not people in suits making decisions. We have a street action team
Right.
consisting of like 4 to 12 folks knocking doors, just asking neighbors like how are you feeling, asking about issues,
Hmm.
asking about getting voter ID sometimes during
Okay.
election cycles, just doing a whole host of things to make sure that everything that we do is member led and community led. We don't want to be making decisions if it's not,
Okay.
uh, if the people are not asking for it. So we have a leadership council.
Right.
We're a membership based organization, and you can also find our membership forms on our website, centerforracialjustice.org. I'm sorry. That's the number 4, centerforracialjustice.org.
Okay.
And you have membership applications because we're led by our membership.
Okay. And now, how much do you pay? And I mean, is there certain
Our,
qualifications you
our
have to have?
yes. So the only qualification that you need to have is be willing to be involved, is
Okay.
be invested.
Right.
We we want everybody to become members because then when the work is spread around, it's easier for everyone.
Right.
Everybody's working full-time jobs or maybe
Hmm.
even 2 jobs, so people can't get to every community meeting. They can't get
Right.
to every legislative meeting. They can't get to every protest or rally.
Right.
But what they can do is share something on Outvote, text 25 of their friends, share videos on Facebook, and then
Hmm.
attend, 2 or 3 membership meetings every quarter instead of, 6 of them. But
Okay.
in our membership, um, the cost of membership is $20 a month. I'm
Okay.
sorry, $20 a year.
Oh, that's not
It's
bad.
it's
Okay.
not and it's not anything we push. So we don't do door to door like
Soliciting.
money. So
Okay.
yeah, recruitment for like monies and things. People
Okay.
join all the time without paying $20 membership fee.
Okay.
What we rather have other than $20 is your investment of your time.
Got you. Okay.
So, yeah.
So, if anybody is interested in, working with him and his organization, give them your information again.
Anton, my email address is Antonio at center, the number 4, racialjustice.org. And our website is Center for racialjustice.org. Um, we actually have a week of action coming up on August 3rd.
Okay.
Can't show, I'm trying not to rattle the paper.
Okay.
On August 3rd, and you can register for our forum on safety. We have an annual forum on safety and liberation.
Okay.
Before defund police was very big like this. There was a lot of community organizations doing this forums for safety and liberation,
Hmm.
trying to highlight what we want and what we feel is true community safety,
Hmm.
and that's better jobs in the neighborhood, better schools,
Hmm.
cleaner parks, cleaner
Hmm.
neighborhoods. Just
Hmm.
all around resources, mental health
Okay.
services. That's
Right.
what makes us feel safe because I know like the term serve and protect, I never felt applied to me. So when I see the
Exactly.
police behind me, I don't feel safe. I feel like, oh, are they gonna pull me over right now? Is this
Right.
gonna turn
Hmm.
bad?
Right.
So it's just to combat the narrative that an excessive police force feels safe, and we've been
Okay.
doing this in conjunction with the Elevator Center out of California for years now, maybe
Really?
even yeah.
Okay.
So and it's not only us, but everybody puts on their own safety and liberation forum this week of August 3rd. So
Okay.
ours we'll be doing it for the entire week. Monday will be a digital forum via Zoom, the platform I was telling you about earlier,
Okay.
which will lead to Tuesday and Wednesday. We'll have some legislative outreach goals that we'll be doing from home, right? Campaign,
Hmm.
letter writing campaign, writing our legislators
Hmm.
and things of that sort.
Okay.
And Wednesday we're going to be doing a social media push. I'm sorry, Tuesday's a social media push. Um, and Wednesday is when we'll be doing a letter writing campaign from the comfort of our home,
Okay.
socially distant. Thursday we're gonna have a party and a banner making party leading to an action on
Hmm.
Friday, August 7th.
Okay.
So all of this is gonna culminate on August 7th when we just decide to tell our politicians straight up what we need from them. So,
Okay, that's good.
and if anyone wants to register, you can go to bit.ly/safety is 2020. bit.ly/safety is 2020.
Okay, thank you. I appreciate that. We're going to close out. Sorry we started so late today. My co-host had another death in her family, so let's keep her in our prayers, her and her family in our prayers. And I believe also doing a book bag drive for going back to school, or school supplies for when the kids do go back. I'm not sure if they're going back in the fall or in January, but she does have a school drive going on now. Her name is Dorothy Holmes. So let's keep her in your prayers. And thank you all for watching the Be the Voice show at intellectualradio.com. Thank you and have a great evening. Bye bye.